The British Paraorchestra, based in Bristol, is an orchestra consisting entirely of musicians with disabilities, the first ever orchestra of its kind in the United Kingdom. The Paraorchestra was formed by conductor Charles Hazlewood in 2011 as a project to create a platform for the top disabled musicians, with the hope that its success would lead to better integration of the disabled into music and performing arts. The orchestra performed its first live show at Glastonbury Abbey in July 2012, and received international attention when it played alongside Coldplay during the closing ceremony of the 2012 Summer Paralympics in London in September 2012. History. Origins. Charles Hazlewood was inspired by his youngest daughter Eliza to form the Paraorchestra. Eliza suffers from cerebral palsy, but Hazlewood believed that she was still an outstanding singer. Being the father of a child with a disability, he realized that throughout his career as an orchestral conductor, he had seen few disabled performers as members of orchestras. Hazlewood felt that since music is universal, an orchestra should represent all members of a community, comparing this ordeal to the time when only men performed in orchestras. He felt that an orchestra consisting only of disabled performers could spread awareness of this issue and help achieve greater integration for the disabled in music and the performing arts. Formation. Hazlewood officially announced the formation of the British Paraorchestra in July 2011 at a TED conference in Edinburgh. He did not intend the Paraorchestra to be a therapeutic or warm and fuzzy project, but rather a platform to showcase disabled musicians with virtuosic qualities. When holding auditions, he aimed to find musicians who were at the top of the game, technically, and with a spirit behind the virtuosity. The orchestra's first 17 members come from a variety of backgrounds and use a variety of instruments, including conventional instruments and electronic devices such as tablet computers and other assistive technology developed by Rolf Gallagher, professor in experimental music at Coventry University and the technical director of the orchestra. After failing to partner with the BBC, Hazlewood successfully commissioned British broadcaster Channel 4 to produce a documentary following the formation of the Paraorchestra and its first performance, which aired on the 9th of September 2012. He felt airing its documentary on Channel 4 was a no-brainer, as it was also the official broadcaster of the 2012 Summer Paralympics. The Paraorchestra made its first public appearance on the 1st of July 2012 during Hazlewood's music festival Orchestra in a Field at Glastonbury Abbey. The performance included its versions of Greensleeves and Maurice Ravel's Bolero. The orchestra's style incorporates a large amount of improvisation, intended to allow the orchestra to feel a sense of collective ownership of the performances. Involvement with the Paralympics. In 2012, Hazlewood campaigned for the Paraorchestra to be included in the ceremonies of the 2012 Summer Paralympics in London. He felt that their inclusion in this international event would be a unique opportunity for the Paraorchestra and that it could also raise awareness of his cause. The Paraorchestra were ultimately incorporated into the closing ceremony of the Games, where it performed alongside British rock band Coldplay, and played the Paralympic anthem. The Paraorchestra planned to use the exposure it gained through its role at the Paralympics to add more performers, make studio recordings, and tour across Europe. On the 3rd of December 2012, coinciding with the United Nations International Day of Persons with Disabilities, the British Paraorchestra released a cover of True Colours as a charity single, in a campaign to be Christmas #1, accompanied by the co-signing choir for deaf and hearing children and notable British Paralympians. The single was released to support the British Paralympic Association in preparation for the 2014 Winter Paralympics, along with the Paraorchestra and Cousine Choir themselves. The Paraorchestra was awarded a Big Society Award in September 2013. Members. The Paraorchestra began with 17 members, but plans to add more in the near future. Its members currently include Nicholas McCarthy, a one-handed pianist who graduated from the Royal College of Music in 2012, Clarence Adu, a former jazz trumpet player who was paralyzed below the shoulders after a car accident, Gemma Lunt, a viola player confined to a wheelchair, and Lynn Levitt, who uses a Macintosh to play what Hazlewood feels is dizzyingly creative electronic music. Blind members of the Paraorchestra include pianist and violinist Abby Baker, James Risdon on recorder, Matthew Wadsworth on the lute, violist Takashi Kikuchi, and multi-instrumentalists Baluji Shrivastava and Ziad Sino. The Paraorchestra also recently added 15-year-old deaf viola player Tilly Chester to its lineup. Hazlewood had encountered her playing with the National Youth Orchestra, of which she is also a member.